Suez Crisis in 1956. The Suez Crisis began on October 29, 1956, when Israel armed forces pushed into Egypt towards the Suez Canal after Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser 1918 to 70 nationalized the canal, a valuable waterway that controlled two-thirds of the oil used by Europe. The Israelis were soon joined by French and British forces, which nearly brought the Soviet Union into the conflict and damaged their relationships with the United States. In the end, Egypt emerged victorious, and the British, French, and Israel governments withdrew their troops in the late 1956 and early 1957. The event was pivotal event among Cold War superpowers. Suez Canal Crisis of 1956. Suez Crisis 1956 was an international crisis in the Middle East. In 1954, facing pressure from Egyptian nationalists, the two countries signed a 7-year treaty that led to the withdrawal of British troops. In 1956, Egyptian President Abdel Nasser nationalized the Suez Canal to pay for the construction of a dam on the Nile. This led to the Suez Crisis, with the UK, France, and Israel mounting an attack on Egypt. The conflict ended in 1957 after the United Nations got involved and was followed by the first instance of the UN peacekeeping forces being developed anywhere in the world. In 1967, Nasser ordered the peacekeeping forces out of Sinai, leading to a new conflict between the two countries. The closure lasted until 1975, when the two countries signed a disengagement accord. The canal was focal point of the Arab-Israel War of 1973, with the Arab coalition led by the Egypt and Syria. Since 1951, Britain faced increased and violent opposition in Egypt, which culminated in the withdrawal of British forces by 1955. Britain suffered great economic losses in addition to loss of lives while it fought to retain control over Egypt. The final withdrawal of British signaled the defeat of Britain. Nasser and then British PM Anthony Eden also had an antagonistic relationship, with each believing that the other sought to humiliate him. Eden also failed in his effort to stop anti-British radio broadcasts from Egypt, and more importantly, to get Egypt to join the Baghdad Pact. Israel, on the other hand, was threatened by Egypt's rising power and Nasser's popularity. This led to the three nations gaining up against Egypt due to international pressure, especially from the USA and USSR. Britain and other countries had to withdraw their troops. This withdrawal added insult to injury to the UK, which had just recently withdrawn its troops from Egypt.